What is up, everybody? My name is Nate. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the weekly rotation video. This is where we talk about what I wore last week and what you wore last week. I want to hear from you guys down in the comments down below. Lay out what you wore. It gives me a lot of inspiration for a lot of the purchases that I make. So if you guys are interested in keeping track of your weekly rotation, I have a weekly rotation dashboard up on my website. It's an easy drop-down menu system, so you can keep track of your weekly rotation pretty easily. It's a pretty easy to use kind of format. It's a great way to help support the channel here, and it's also a great way to keep track of your weekly rotation. So go check it out if you want, if you're interested. So this week was quite a busy week. I feel like I say that every week, but a lot of great fragrances I wore, some dark ones, some fresh ones, some lively ones, and a new Tom Ford. On Friday, I wore Tom Ford Grey Vetiver, and this is the new Parfum version. And I have to say, it is super smooth and it's super nice. There is a bit of a leathery accord in here, so it is definitely really masculine, and it's got that same earthy kind of vetiver. So if you're not into vetiver at all, I would kind of skip out on it. I would actually skip out on it mainly because the price is absolutely ridiculous on this. I'm not a huge fan of like returning fragrances after I get them, and especially now that I make content for them, I don't really want to return much, you know, after I buy it. So I'm gonna keep it. But if I didn't do a fragrance channel, I'd most likely return it. Just because there's like a bunch of new fragrances that I, have been picking up, and this one doesn't really do much for me in terms of the whole vetiver kind of DNA. I just recently, let me grab it. I haven't done any testing with this one yet, but I just picked up Vetiver Sensual from Mancera, and I have to say, I prefer this one over this by far. This one is so nice. I haven't worn it yet. I haven't worn this yet, so I'm not gonna really go into detail on it, but I really do enjoy it. I sprayed it on my hand here a few days ago, back when Thursday. These two fragrances came in on Thursday, and I have to say I really loved it. Off that just initial blast, it was really nice. So backing up to Monday, I wore Tom Ford Ombre Leather. Another Tom Ford. So it was a Tom Ford week. I love that, man. Even though I just realized a few comments let me know that Tom Ford was bought out, and I had no idea about this. I guess the company was bought out by like a bigger, I think it was L'Oreal or something like that, which is not a big deal. I mean, congrats to Tom Ford for selling his company, but man, it just like, once corporate gets involved, it's kind of just like bleh. Anyway, Tom Ford Ombre Leather is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It's smooth, sexy leather. It's like a rugged cowboy. It's super pleasant too. It's nothing really harsh. I think it's the most wearable leather fragrance that you can buy on the market right now. There's probably a bunch other that I'm probably not even aware of, but from my, naive approach, this is a really good leather fragrance, and it's kind of a mass-pleasing leather fragrance. So you're really not going to offend many people with this one. Some people don't really get on the bandwagon of ombre leather, so just be warned of that. If you're kind of new to fragrances, this would be an excellent fragrance to get your nose on. Don't blind buy it, of course, because it is expensive. As with Grey Vetiver Parfum, I think everything Tom Ford is really expensive. I don't own any of the private blends from Tom Ford. I have a bunch of the Maison Alhambra clones of it. I think I have the entire line of the private blends from Maison Alhambra, but I don't know what fragrance I would buy from the signature line, because there's so many clones out there that are so magnificent, that perform just as well, and that smell somewhat close. Obviously, you're gonna get better, oils and better, smell from the original, but in the air where it actually matters, it doesn't really, matter. Which private blend I would actually buy? Right now, I would not even consider buying any of them, just because I have the clones and they're kind of outrageously priced. There's another example of that. This is Maison Alhambra. This is Hercules. This is a take on Herod, or Harold, from my video. A lot of people didn't get that joke. But Herod is an amazing fragrance. It's like a sexy tobacco fragrance. It's got vanilla, pepper, and this one, it is, I feel like it's a much more wearable Herod. So I had a sample of Herod. I didn't have a full bottle of Herod, just, you know, putting that out there. But I had a few samples of Herod, and I liked it. It was hard for me to wear though, because I wore it in the winter time too, which helped the whole scenario, but it was kind of hard to wear. I couldn't really find a place to wear it. It was hard to wear to work, and then on my days off, I was gravitating to some other fragrances. So in terms of like wearability, I think it's smoother than wearing Herod, which obviously you're gonna get a little bit less quality with this, but I feel like this one does it pretty well. And it's a fraction of the price, it really is. So if you're tight on a budget, this is an excellent offering from Maison Alhambra. This is Hercules, and it's a take on Parfums de Marly Herald. I have to put that in there, I have to. And then on Wednesday, this was Wednesday, Armani Code Parfum, and I keep forgetting how powerful this thing is. It's, when you spray it on, when I spray it on, everyone's different. This is a subjective hobby, but when I spray this on, I get a full 10 to 12 hours. It is a beast mode of a fragrance, and it definitely carries through the wind. It's a very aromatic fragrance, so it definitely carries throughout the, you know, the air, and it's a really lively, bright fragrance. It's got some like bergamot in here, and then there's some iris in here to give it kind of like a powdery nuance. It has that traditional Armani Code thing going on. But oh my God, this is like, if you're looking into getting Armani Code, like any of the flankers or any of the original, anything like that, I would just go for the Parfum. The Parfum is an amazing, modern day, amazing smell of a fragrance. It really, truly is. And you know, the Absolute is great too. Armani Code Absolute, I have it back there. I think the whole line is being discontinued, so just be warned of that. If you want to pick it up sooner rather than later. But this is an excellent fragrance, and you know, expect maybe this year or next year they're going to release a eau de parfum. It's guaranteed. It's most likely going to be the same bottle. It's just going to have eau de parfum right there. You could quote me on, timestamp this. On Thursday, I wore my favorite of all time. I shouldn't say that. I say that with everything. But Dior Homme Intense. This is powdery, woody, sexy, cocoa-y. This is so magnificent. This borders on the unisex. So if you're not into like powdery iris, you don't want to buy this. You don't want to buy this at all. I don't even think that this is a really good blind buy fragrance. In terms of like a fragrance enthusiast, if you're an enthusiast and you want to get into the hobby more, I would encourage you to try this out at least. Maybe even blind buy it if you're a real enthusiast. But for the everyday guy, for the average Joe, for someone who just wants to get compliments from girls, no shame here from you, but from me. But this isn't really that sexy. It gets heavily hyped up online, and even I hype it up a lot too. It's an excellent fragrance. But in terms of like actual like reality of things, like if we take a step back and realize that we're on a floating rock in the sky, you realize that not everybody wants to smell like a baby butt, powdery, delicious, cocoa, woody, sexy, amazing fragrance. You know, it might be a little challenging for some. So if you're just looking for compliments, there are a ton of fragrance. Like Armani Code Parfum is so much better than it for the compliment factor. But if you want to smell like a sex angel, go with this one. And then Friday was, you know, Tom Ford Grey Vetiver. I touched on that. I won't go. I love that stuff. I do. I'm happy to have it in my collection. It's just a little pricey, and you know, I like it. I do. On Saturday, I wore. I recently did a collaboration with Paris Corner, and that video will be out this week sometime. But you know, they sent me this one, and I have to say, I do like it. I have to say that I prefer my Alexandria fragrance over it. I do. There's a little lackluster performance with this one. I don't really get that great of longevity with it. and it smells a touch more synthetic than my Alexandria fragrance one. There is some quality issues that I have with this one. It's not like a super performer to me. That's just to me, but I do like it. That doesn't mean that I don't like it at all. This is an amazing summertime fragrance. Like summer, springtime, I wore it on Saturday, yesterday, and it was so divine. It was like, it fit into it was a bit hotter yesterday. I got a little sun kiss, but it was a bit hotter yesterday, and I just like loved the way that it smelled. It sat so beautifully on my skin, and it was pushing off, and I just felt so, energetic. It was great. It was a great experience. I digress. This is really good. The performance is a little lackluster. I would prefer Alexandria fragrances, but this is pretty good. I'm pretty sure I want to try the Imperial, I think it is called. I know that one gets great performance. And then today I'm gonna wear Vetiver Sensual. I sprayed this one on the other day and I loved it, and I really like it now. It's vetiver, it's green, but there's like some peppery nuances in here. I haven't looked at any of the notes. So it's like rich, classy, gentlemanly, fresh, aromatic, great for the springtime, an amazing fragrance for the summertime. A lot of citruses. There's some musky aspects in here, which is so divine. And then I'm getting like a heavy pink pepper. I should just look at the notes here. So checking out some of the notes here: lime, lemon, orange, bergamot, pepper, orchid, mint, patchouli, vetiver, woody notes, white musk, oak moss, and amber. So it's it's very fresh. It's like such a mood lifter. I really do like it. I really do like it. And I'm gonna test it today and see what the performance is like. I'm gonna record that video probably this week sometime, but yeah, really am liking it. I was gonna wear Prada Ocean before I pulled over, Vetiver Sensual. I haven't worn Vetiver Sensual, so I wanted to try that one. But I was gonna wear this one today, but I skipped out on it. I will probably wear that one tomorrow and start the week off right. Anyway, guys, let me know what you wore down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I always love hearing from you guys. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Paragon Fragrances. And then if you're interested in the weekly rotation dashboard, you can go to my website, paragonfragrances.com, and you can check out the weekly rotation dashboard. Great way to keep track of your weekly rotation. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next time.